Hi, YouTube. I'll talk to you for a little bit. I'll have to jump up in about 10 minutes and close my wood stove, so I'm just getting it going. Um, oh, I watched a really good video by High Frequency Tribe, Hamish. Um, Dude's right on with where he's at with God. He's got it going on. You might want to check out his video today. It was called Midday. He has coffee talk in the morning, but his son was a little rambunctious. I didn't watch it, but he said um, the bird, his nickname, was little, well, 3.5. That should say it all for you parents, if you know where I'm going with that. Yeah, oh, excellent video. Um, I'd like to, I hope a couple people that I'm concerned about, targeted individuals, watch my video here because this is specifically for you. I'm going to speak on the armor of God and what that is and how you use it. Um, a lot of things that they do to us is mind over matter. In other words, pay them no mind. It may hurt, but you're only in your meat suit for a little while here, as Rex Bear from the Leak Project would put it. Or Hamish calls it flesh suit or space suit. That's what he calls it. Yes, our space suit for our own space. That's cute, huh? So, okay, going back to how we ignite our armor. Our faith in God, the more He's in you, uh, the stronger your armor is, if you see where I'm going with that. Of course, we all have aches and pains, like I've got arthritis, allergies, broken bones that don't heal, nerve ending damages, diseases, whatever we've got. Keeping in mind that along with our aches and pains is that joyous feeling inside that we know this is not all there is to life. And I have faith that this bad feeling that we're all feeling, this anxiety, is going to be going away. Okay, I'm going to title this Everybody Hears Voices. I don't care if they admit it or not, but in our flesh, we feel God within ourselves. We also feel Satan's bad influence in there. So it literally is not that you hear voices, but you are aware of your parentage. You're aware that God is in there or whoever you serve. Um, Being aware of that, and the more that you are aware of that, is truly your armor. And there's a lot of studies on schizophrenia and, oh, excuse me, one moment, let me search my mind. Um, Paranoid delusional behaviors that I believe truly stem from the battle of good and evil within mankind, within ourselves. And learning to recognize what are your thoughts opposed from our adversary, which is Satan. Did you think something good and then a second later that little icky feeling or icky voice got in at you? Um, the same with our flesh as far as pain or pleasure. Connecting it from God or connecting it from Satan is a major issue as far as recognizing who is in control at that moment. Who just tried to speak to me, which they get nowhere, but who did just try to speak to me opposed to who is speaking to me and through me. so, yeah, my targeted friends. um oh, how can I put this? Just give me a moment to I'll go close my stove and I'll be right back. Okie doke. Um, Satan can use anybody and everybody. I mean, a friend of yours could say the most innocent thing, and then Satan could laugh in that person's ear and make it sound like you said something you actually did not say. If you see where I'm going, let me try and think of another example. Um, Say you walk up to your parent and you say, well, like, hi, mom or dad, whatever, and they say, hi, kid, how you doing? Just a minute, if they're busy. And Satan said, in your ear or in your flesh, whatever, they're ignoring you. They don't want to talk to you right this minute. So you get an anger spot before they even speak again. That's how Satan can use other people against you. They may not even know it, they're not aware of it. If you see what I mean? And this happens a lot. I'm not talking about the narcissist personality. These are in direct connection with Satan and they know full well what they're doing. They'll plan ahead. So that those are kind of two separate issues. I'm talking about your average human being saying something that we may take wrong because Satan got to us. That type of thing. That brings me to another story that I was thinking about exposing somebody that I think had betrayed me. Well, it may not be a matter of betrayal. It's definitely a matter of misunderstanding. And God told me just to hold fast on that because things will work itself out in the wash. It always does. But it's like it's a little annoying because when you have a lot of steadfastness, when you have immense amount of strength that you've displayed your whole life unless you were sick and couldn't do that, which is really hard to do when you're not feeling well. That is when Satan will attack us too, by the way. He loves that. He loves it. Are you injured? Oh, watch out. That's when them bad thoughts are going to come even worse from people that you're dealing with. He'll be saying things to them and he'll be saying things to you, and it's hard to talk to God when you're in pain and you're frustrated. That part I do know, you know. So let me think. um yeah, the more we take on, the more we battle evil, the more evil we're going to have to battle because they'll just keep throwing it at us. I mean, if you're a warrior, that's who you are. And if you are, then others will recognize that, not by you saying that's who you are, but saying what you're not going to accept. You see? Um, well, I know a lot, nobody actually accepts being treated poorly, don't get me wrong. And I know there's people that speak out about that, but in a manner of a discouraging way, because just say, for instance, that you were displaying your displeasure with the part of your life that you're going through. And people have similar issues just like that. Imagine if who you were speaking to was Christ and you were saying that what you're going through is worse. Um, how, or not Christ, just maybe somebody, say if I were complaining about, oh, I had to walk through the snow and I slipped, which I have said I've almost slipped, but I mean, what if I was complaining about it and there was a little person or whoever sitting there with no legs thinking, um, I'll never even be able to have a family and I'll never be able to dance, and here you are, you stupid bleep, worrying about slipping in the flippin' snow. You know, um, they would be grateful to have legs to slip in the snow. So sometimes when we're speaking, we have to kind of listen to the world when we're speaking. We can't, and I'm guilty of it. Don't get me wrong. I have been guilty of this because I'm thinking, geez, my pains are so outrageous. And the things that they've done to me in my life, all my life, MK Ultra, all of it. Um, Relationships, families, destroyed everything in my life. Everything and everybody. This is no baloney. So, but I still have to think, who am I speaking to? I don't know what you've been through. I can't say that, God, I'm so hurt that I have to let this other person feel my pain because it's so bad. No, no. I got to be strong over here and I got to say, hey, yeah, I'm maybe God will take me sooner so I don't have to suffer. But if I still am here, I hope I never tread on another hurt one. Because when we do that, we're actually working for Satan at that moment. And I mean, it's not that I don't want to hear anybody's troubles. I do, you know. It's just says I'd like to hear more solutions to what you are going through. I'll give you a solution for me. Um, okay, I had Chinese water torture all night. I have a drip in my ceiling right by my bed. I'm probably going to have to move my bed because some years back, Doug traded labor for half the roof being done brand new, and we have to wait for the other half so we can save up enough money to get the other half done. So I had some water damage in one of my rooms and had to literally tear out a floor. And so now this side of the house is doing the same thing the other side was doing. So all night long I had Chinese water torture. It kind of did wane a little bit, about probably 4 in the morning. So I had kind of a rough night. Um, Osteoarthritis, Morgellons, allergies, blah, 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 blah. And I got my chores done this morning, some of them, and then I picked up my guitar. And wish me luck, I'm going to try and play you a song tomorrow. So I've been practicing. I played several songs, and I took that time for myself to learn like a new song or two. Not only to expand my mind, but by making music, it enlightens your soul. So to appreciate the little things that we do in our life that do lift us up, to concentrate on that more. Now that song is more important to me than the Chinese water torture that I'll probably have again tonight. You see. So I guess my point is taking care of others with our mouths. And sometimes I'm a little impatient, or I had been. I'm a very patient woman. Um, working in a nursing home taught me that actually mostly with really, really, really um, horrible old people are probably about the worst human beings on the face of the planet, honestly. By far worse than any younger person because they should know better by then, so you learn a lot of patience. Um, you see a kid do something stupid and it's a given. This little person may grow out of it, but when you're like ready to kick the bucket, um, you're not growing out of this stuff. When you're middle aged and you're still trashy, you're probably going to be trash until God gets a hold of your heart. And that's when you think about dying, is when you straighten up. Sometimes it takes a few takes to people to really get it through their head. But I learned a lot of patience in listening skills. They say we got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so we can listen. Well, for me to listen to people, because how am I going to know anybody unless I'm listening? You see? And a two-way conversation is a timed thing. It's almost like being a good comedian. It's a give and take type of thing. And when we're upset, sometimes we can be a little overbearing, a little ignorant of the other people that we're talking to. And that I really can't stress enough. It's really important. I'm not saying you have to sit there and pay audience to some jerk that's screaming at you and or treating you like shit or talking down to you or talking trash about good people or whatever. No, no, don't pay that attention. Don't honor that with your time. But when you run across somebody that is truly a good person, it bears listening to. If God says there's something here, listen. Then I do. I listen. I also know the mistakes I've made in not listening because I thought, not that it was all about me, but I just knew that I had been through these things that I'm finding out other people have been through. Like, first I break my toes and couldn't sleep for 6 months. Then I literally caught Doug on my shoulder and it broke my whole shoulder down my arm. Couldn't sleep for another 6 months and, a year without sleep. And then before that, I had a stroke. Then I have arthritis and my allergies, and I had an operation for my allergies, blah, blah, blah. But for like 15 years, I have been literally sleep deprived, if not, well, all my life, literally, literally. And this is intentional, try and kill me, but I still have to think to myself, there's probably somebody out there that if you haven't been through what I've been through on the daily basis like that, you may be hurt today, and I'm not going to hurt you worse because that's not the way we roll here on planet Earth as human beings. We're taking care of each other. So, um, but for my targeted individual friends, I highly, highly recommend Hamish with the High Frequency Tribe, especially his video today called Midday. If you're not familiar with him, I would say get familiar with him. He's a very nice man, very nice. Um, he's not ashamed to talk about his faults. and how he pulled himself out of things. Um, he's golden like that. Truly, truly a child of God. He's a 50-year-old child, but he's a child. 49, I think. 49 or 50, somewhere in there anyway. He's a kid to me, but he's a good one. He's one of the good guys. So, um, he's also an artist. He's a skater. He's an author, a dad, a divorcee recently, and a fire victim. And went through the last 4 months for him was pure hell. Um, I do believe he even had a back injury from surfing, and he still surfs too. Loves his bike. He loves taking his 4x up in the mountain. Mother Earth. He's used to be an activist as far as saving the trees, but then he found out that that was all a game that they played just to pull the young people in and get you out there on the street picketing so they can do something to you. And that's a part of a big part. And I've picketed. I picketed Vietnam. Now I know they're trying to get people up in arms. Same shit with Venezuela. Same shit. We have no business in there. We're going in there just like they did in Vietnam and saying, oh, these people need our help. They don't want our help. It's the same with South Vietnam. The Viet Cong, North Korea, um, they got along. They got all their foods, all their goods from North Korea. The minute we put our big fat heads in there, and people were dying left and right every night on the news. I couldn't come home from school and turn on the news from 10 years old on into my teen years without having to listen to the body count over in Vietnam. If we would have left the brothers and sisters of that land would have worked things out. They would have came together. That's how they fed themselves. The Viet Cong, the North Koreans fed the South Koreans, and the South Koreans did like more textile things, like they were more craft minded and like say like making clothing and that type of thing, and they were getting along perfectly well until we got in there with our bad selves. And now they're trying to do the same thing, trying to get people. I know they would love us out there picketing about anything and everything. The people like with Black Lives Matter. Of course they do. But it didn't do them any good. It's like down in Minneapolis. They were in the middle of the freeway. What is that going to do besides get you arrested? I mean, I've written to my state legislator. I've written my governor. I've talked to my own city council. I've been to my township hall, is what it's called. And before I got in trouble in my life, I got sick and I couldn't really take care of myself, so I did get in a little bit of trouble. But it was the first time, and so they took it easy on me. I've got a video explaining that, but I'm not making no excuses. I'm just telling you, I'm not perfect. And when we're not feeling good, we don't always make good decisions, but I do know right from wrong. So I couldn't plead insanity, you know. But anyway, some of you have heard this story. But if you want to know, I'll tell you. Doesn't matter. I'm not going through it right now. I don't want to relive it in my mind. But I've always known God, and I've never denied God. And I can't make any excuses for any wrong things I've done in my life. That's what I'm saying, you know. Let's see. Anything else? I really do care about people. I care about everybody. I really do. I just can't stand the mean ones anymore. I can't be around their cold crap anymore. It just blows my mind. I just can't deal with it. If I like, I love to go out in public. I love big crowds, but then if I see somebody acting like a total douche, I'm like, it's disgusting to me. I just don't want to meet another douchebag. You know what I mean? I'm so sick of them. You know. And that's why I decided to not even speak about my feelings online or people that um, I feel didn't respect me as much as I deserved. And I thought, nah, forget it. I'm not going to chase after friends. If they value me, we don't chase each other. We're just there for each other. So if somebody's lesser than that, then that's who they are. And I don't need that. So I decided, nah, I'm better off. I've gotten rid of family members. So, if standing up for God means that I have to bow to somebody that thinks lesser of me, whoa, no way. Never. So, so that's probably about it, everybody. I just wanted you to know how I felt about the armor of God and what it really is all about, and how we can implicate, or uh, what's the word, initiated, dang, oh, just a sec, um, activated. That's the word. Activating our armor is by having that faith that we are going to be okay, and this is not all we are, or who we are, or all we are from. It's feeling our forefathers, it's feeling God through them in us, the whole ball of wax, thinking right back to the beginning. And it's all in everybody, just like a book on our hearts, the whole thing, everybody. We're all on each other's hearts like that. We really are. It's not that anybody knows anything more than anybody else. It's just, what injuries have you had? Who were your parents? What did they do to you? Where'd you live? Was it hot? Was it cold? What did you eat? Everything. It entails everything to the information that we get inside of ourselves. Um, so literally activating the armor of God is having faith that you're going to be okay, one way or another. It's just like, well, today I was a little tired, but I made it okay. And I knew I might get bothered again tonight about the same time. So I made the video earlier, you know, compensating for it, you know. And sometimes, and I'm just going to be honest with you, people say, well, like if you're depressed or sad or whatever, pick up the Bible and start reading. Yes, excellent idea, excellent. And in fact, the online Bible that just reads to you, like for me, I like the King James one. Um, that's awesome. Uh, but I would be careful on what I'm reading and what I'm listening to, depending on my mindset. Sometimes sitting and just talking to God in your own heart and your own mind and trying to quiet yourself and not trying to stress to make sense or to fit something in your heart or in your soul. Sometimes the best thing we can do is know that we love God and Christ is inside of us and He's taking care of us, and just feel rested. Rest with the quietness, the peace. And then pick up your Bible and read it, for the understanding. You know, I do occasionally, not as much as I used to, and it kind of, in a lot of ways, bores me because it's not that I miss know it all or nothing, but I got the gist. I've read it 3 times completely, word for word, with the concordance and a dictionary. I really think I did enough there. But I do get a craving for it. You know, I need to hear the word, I'll hear it. I like sometimes if I find somebody that really is reading it, like I want to hear it. And it's a couple of them are a couple. Well, everybody, I'm going to let you go. I love you very much, and I need you to believe that because we all need good friends, trusting, faithful people of God, you know, the Most High God, you know. So, okay, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.